Good morning. Welcome to Gentle Yoga. My name is Lydia and I'll be guiding you this morning. Let's go ahead and come to a nice seated posture on a block. Or blankets. Blanket would be fine as well. And go ahead and sit up nice and tall. And start to ground down through your sits bones and lift up through the crown of your head. Tuck your chin slightly. And start to breathe in and out through the nose, beginning to notice the quality of the breath. Here, beginning to notice whether or not the breath gets stuck at the top of your inhale or at the bottom of your exhale. And then placing one hand at heart center and the other at low belly. On your next inhale, begin to fill your belly. Allow your rib cage to expand and notice the chest rise. Exhaling, chest lowers, ribs hug, and gently draw your navel towards your spine. Keep going here, filling up on your inhales. Drawing the navel in on exhales. Beginning to remove all thoughts and directing your minds inward. Focus on your deep breathing. Placing your hands on your next exhale, drop your chin to chest. And we'll just start to work this nice curvature in the neck here, inhaling ear to shoulder, exhaling to center, and inhaling towards the other side. Keep going here. Gentle movements here, using the breath. Remembering that the breath is your main focus of your practice. And then go ahead and make your way back to center. Inhale the head up and draw your shoulders back and down. You can give a few shoulder rolls here, back and forward. And then go ahead and bring your hands to your shoulders. And we're going to make some circles here. We're going to exhale as we draw the elbows together. Inhale, open up. So nice full circles. Keep lifting up through the crown. Any cracking or popping that you hear right now is perfectly normal. Just move through. And then switch directions. And release. Shake out your hands for just a moment. A few more shoulder rolls here. And then just bring your hands together, interlace your fingers, and bring the forearms together. Lift up through your elbows here and start to make some full circles with your wrists. So full circles all the way around in one direction. And opposite direction. And then inhale, press through your palms, round your shoulders, and drop your chin to chest for just a moment. Exhale, release. Re-interlace the fingers behind you. Press down through the tops of the hands. Lift up through the heart. Look up. Exhale, release. Let's go ahead and come off of the block. Go ahead and come off of your block or blanket. And we're going to extend the legs out in front. So go ahead and sit down, extend your legs out in front of you, and maybe lean back into the hands and shake out the leg bone from the hip socket. Maybe lift up through the heart, look forward, or just look up, whatever feels good. And then point and flex the feet a few times. All right, scoot the leg bone back into the hip socket. We're going to make our way into a staff posture. So in your staff posture, go ahead and flex your feet so that your toes are pointing towards the body. But try to keep the knees nice and soft. Press down through the tops of the hands. Lift up through your crown. Inhale. Exhale, draw your navel in. Inhale. Exhale, let's draw this right knee close to the body. Give it a little squeeze here. Continue to flex through the left foot, through that heel. Interlace your fingers behind the right knee, and on your next inhale, extend your right leg. Flex through your right heel. Sit up nice and tall. Lift up through your crown. And let's just take 3 breaths here. Exhale, release. Inhale. Exhale, draw that right knee back in. From here, we're sitting up nice and tall from here. Grab the outside of that right knee with the left hand. And on your next inhale, we're going to just start to windmill this right arm around and bring the hand behind you. So we're here, we're in the nice gentle twist. We're lifting up through the crown. We're keeping the heart nice and open. You can keep your gaze forward or even start to look over that right shoulder. Breathe. Go ahead and inhale your way back to center. Exhale, hug that right knee back in once more. And release, re-extend the right leg. Inhale, sit up nice and tall. Exhale, draw the left knee in this time. Continue to flex through that right heel. Inhale. Exhale. Interlace your fingers behind the left knee. On your next inhale, extend your left leg. Flex through your heels. Breathe. Exhale, release. Bring your foot back to your mat. Hug that left knee in once more. We're going to bring right hand to the outside of the right knee. And on your next inhale, windmill this left arm up and around. So hand comes behind you. Keep the heart lifted. Keep the crown lifted. Gaze is forward or even over the shoulder. Whatever feels comfortable to you. Breathe. Inhale, right arm back around, left arm back around. Exhale, draw that left knee in once more. Inhale to re-extend. Let's go ahead and swing the feet around and make our way into a tabletop position. So before we move into any postures, let's work a little on the wrist joint. So spread your fingers nice and wide. Make sure your knees are directly under your hips. Your wrists are directly under the shoulders, and you're looking towards the top of your mat. Inhale. Exhale and start to draw your navel in. Inhale, just start to move forward just a bit. So we're stretching the wrist. And then inhale back to center. Let's do that twice more. So moving forward. Inhale back to center. Once more. And inhale back to center. Turn the fingertips towards the outside edge of your mat. And we're just going to start to move a little side to side. So try not to allow the belly to hang here. Nice, gentle movements. Doesn't matter how far you go. And this time, let's turn the fingertips towards the knees. So fingertips are towards the knees. We're going to inhale here at center. Exhale, press the hips back and start to lift the heel of the hand off of your mat. Inhale back to center. Exhale, press back. Inhale, center. Exhale, press back once more. And then inhale back to center, turn fingertips back towards the top of your mat. And we're going to work on just pressing down through the top of the hand this time. So we're going to turn the left hand so that the top of the hand is on the mat, and then just gently press down. One more breath here. Go ahead and come off of that hand, and we're going to sink the hips back for just a moment into a nice child's pose. Tip of your forehead is relaxed on your mat. Forearms are nice and relaxed on the mat. Inhale your way back to center. And then go ahead and press down through the top of the right hand this time. Gentle pressing here. This is not, you don't want to put too much weight here. We're just starting to open up the wrist joint. Just finding some flexibility here. Turn palm back to the mat. On your next exhale, press the hips back, child's pose. Take a breath or two here. Slide your hands back beside your knees, and on your next inhale, go ahead and make your way back up to seated. So if you need a block under your seat, that's okay. You can just start to scoot a block between the heels. Even sometimes you may need 2 blocks. And so we're just sitting in what's called diamond posture, thunderbolt pose. So we've got our blocks stacked, hips are stacked, spine is nice and straight, lifting up through the crown. Exhale, drawing the navel in. From here, I'm just going to turn so that you can see me. We're just going to continue to work on the hands here. And go ahead and interlace your hands, interlace your fingers. And we're going to start to just pull the fingers apart. And just breathe here. And let's do this a few more times. And release. Shake out the hands a little bit. All right. So from here, we're just going to start to make some circular motions around the hip joint. So let's work on the right side first and use both hands. Just circling that hip joint. Breathing. And then making some, moving up and down the outside of the thigh here, and the thigh. Let's do the other side. Circling around that hip joint. And then up and down, rubbing up and down that thigh. Go ahead and come back up to seated. Let's move back off of the block once more. We're going to make our way back into a tabletop position. Just scoot the blocks out of the way here. Make your way back into your tabletop position. Inhale as you look towards the top of your mat. Exhale as you draw the navel in. Inhale. Exhale. On your next inhale, step your right foot towards the back of your mat. The ball of your foot remains on your mat, and we're just going to start to make some circles with the heel. And then opposite direction. And then exhale, bring your knee back to your mat, and we're going to step the left foot back this time. And we're going to start to make some circles with the left heel. So full circles in one direction. And switch directions. Go ahead and bring that knee back to your mat. Inhale here at center. Exhale, sink the hips back, child's pose. Relax the tip of the forehead, relax the forearms. Breathe. Inhale back to center. This time, we're going to extend the right leg, and you can keep the ball of your foot on your mat, or you can start to lift that leg parallel to your mat, and then extend your left arm. So flex through your heel and reach through your fingertips. And let's take 3 breaths here. Exhale, release. Inhale at center. Exhale, sink the hips back. Child's pose. Inhale back to center. Let's do the other side. Extend the left foot to the back of your mat. Again, you can keep the ball of the foot on your mat, or you can start to lift the leg. So whichever feels most comfortable to you. On your next inhale, reaching through right fingertips. Keep your gaze towards your mat. Flex through your heel for 3 breaths. Exhale, release. Inhale. Exhale, sink the hips back. Child's pose. This time we're going to look between the hands and start to make our way down onto the belly. So go ahead and bring your forehead to your mat. And bring your hands just under the shoulder so that your fingertips are just behind the shoulder, the tip of the shoulder here. Shake out the hips for just a moment. Keep your elbows tucked in nice and tight. Take a nice deep inhale. Exhale, draw your navel in. On your next inhale, gently press into your hands. Lift your head, lift your heart. Keep your shoulders away from your ears and breathe. Exhale, release. Shake out the hips. Let's go through that twice more. So inhale here with forehead on your mat. Keep your elbows tucked in nice and tight. Keep your fingertips sort of in line with just behind the tips of the shoulders here. As you inhale, fill your belly. Exhale, draw your navel in to protect your spine. On your next inhale, with the elbows tucked in, lift your head, lift your heart, keep your gaze towards your mat, and breathe. Exhale, release. Shake out your hips. One more baby cobra here, okay? So inhale, exhale, draw your navel in. Inhale, gently pressing into the hands, lifting head, lifting the heart, breathing. Exhale, release. Shake out your hips. On your next inhale, we're going to start to slide the hands forward. And go ahead and bring the head up. So you're going to come into a nice Sphinx pose here. So Sphinx, you want your elbows directly under the shoulders. Your fingers are spread nice and wide, and you want to keep your elbows tucked in tight here, right? So start to lift up through your heart and keep your gaze forward. We're working on strengthening the back here. Try to keep your head out of this turtle shell. Lift out of the shoulders. Breathe. Go ahead and exhale. Bring the head back down. Shake the hips out. We're going to make our way back into that Sphinx pose. So when you're ready, sliding your hands forward, bringing your elbows under your shoulders, keeping the elbows tucked in nice and tight, spreading the fingers nice and wide, lifting up through the heart and out of the shoulders, looking, gazes forward. And let's try this. We're going to bend the right knee. And then on your next exhale, you're going to turn the head and start to look over the left shoulder. So point your toes this time. And you just want to see if you can notice the toes or the foot in your peripheral vision. So take 2 more breaths here. Exhale, release the foot and make your way back to center. Go ahead and bring your head back down to your mat and shake out your hips once more. All right, let's do the other side. Sliding hands back forward, elbows under the shoulders, fingers spread nice and wide, lifting up through the heart, gazes forward. Bending left knee this time, pointing the toes on your next exhale, starting to turn, looking over right shoulder this time. See if you can notice the toes or part of the foot. It may happen for you, it may not. Just breathe. Exhale, release the foot. Inhale your head back to center. Exhale, forehead back to the mat. Slide your hands back. Shake out your hips. All right, so from here, go ahead and gently press into your hands. Lift your hips. Press your hips back. Child's pose. Take a breath or 2 here. Inhale your way back to tabletop. All right, check that your knees are directly under your hips. Wrists are directly under the shoulders. This time we're going to inhale this left arm high. Exhale, slide that left arm through. We're landing on the shoulder and tip of the head. You can keep your right hand under your right shoulder here, or you can start to reach for the top of your mat. So make sure the head is relaxed for 3 breaths. On your last exhale, slide your right hand back under your shoulder if you've reached for the top of the mat. On your next inhale, gently press into that hand. Inhale, left hand arm comes up. Left hand comes back to your mat. Let's realign ourselves here and do the other side. Inhale, right arm high. Exhale, slide that right arm through. If it feels good, maybe reaching for the top of the mat. Breathing here. Slide your left hand back under the shoulder. On your next inhale, gently pressing into that hand, lifting right arm, exhaling, bring that right hand back to your mat. Inhale, exhale, sink the hips back. Child's pose. Slide your hands back beside your knees. Gently press into your hands. Inhale your way back up to seated. And let's make our way to the top of the mat with knees bent. So we're here at the top of our mat. Knees are bent, feet are flat on your mat here. Grab behind your knees, sit up nice and tall. Inhale. Exhale, lean back into your hands. Tuck your tailbone and make your way onto your back. Go ahead and draw your knees into chest for just a moment. Keep your neck nice and long. And just give a little rock side to side. And then inhale, press your knees away. Bring your feet back to your mat and make sure that your knees are hip distance apart. So that's your hip bones down through your knees and ankles. And if you don't know what that is, or if you're unsure, you can grab a block and just place it between the knees. That is hip distance. And you can keep it there if you like. Bring your hands back down beside your body, palms facing down. Draw your shoulder blades together to open the heart. Again, neck is long on the mat. Head is relaxed. Inhale. Exhale and gently press your low ribs into the mat. One more time. Inhale. Exhale, gently press your low ribs into the mat. On your next inhale, gently press into your heels and lift your hips. So we're coming into bridge pose. Our hips are lifted, our knees are hip distance apart, and we're going to breathe 3 breaths here. Exhale, release. Go ahead and move that block once you make your way back down. Bring your arms out to a T in line with your shoulders. We're going to cross right leg over left. Inhale here at center. Exhale and allow the knees to drop over to the left. Maybe gazing over the right shoulder for just a moment. Left hand can come to that top knee. Release your grip. Inhale your knees back to center. Uncross your legs. Readjust yourself on your mat. We're going to cross left leg over right this time. Inhale at center. Exhale, knees drop over to the right. Maybe gazing over that right shoulder. Right hand comes to the top knee. Breathe. Release your grip. Inhale your knees back to center. Uncross your legs. Extend your legs the length of your mat. Flex through your heels as you reach overhead for a full body stretch. Bend your knees. Roll over onto the side body and start to press your way back up to seated. Making your way back to seated. Nice seated posture here with legs crossed. Bringing your hands together at heart center, lifting up through the crown of the head as you tuck your chin slightly. Thank you all so much for joining me in this gentle yoga practice this morning. Namaste.